Good morning, dealing with Huntsville Guns. Back in the shop this morning after spending a couple of days out of town on some recreational hunting trips. I have a customer who has some property down in South Texas and extended an invitation to come down and shoot some management deer, so I took him up on the offer and had a really good time. Finished out the 2024-2025 deer season with no tags left, basically. Even had the opportunity to shoot some javelina while I was there, a bobcat, and check a couple of other critters off the list. This morning, I am trying to catch up on some work that came in right before I left. And so had a Ruger SP101 come in. This is a single action, double action 357 revolver. It's a newer model. Got a pretty nice set of fiber optic sights on it, but has a surprisingly heavy single action trigger pull. The trigger pull on this in single action is a little over 5 pounds. Has some kind of grittiness and take up in it. And so I'm gonna pull it apart this morning or when I get the opportunity to, and order a set of wolf springs for it. I know they make a really good set of springs for this revolver. See if I can't lighten up that trigger pull just a little bit, and then probably take a stone, clean the sear surfaces up just to take out some of that grit. Also have a gun that came in for consignment. This is a Smith and Wesson Model 41. I've had this one for a month or two now, and it hasn't had any real activity where it's been listed. So I am going to take some better pictures, clean it up, and see if I can't relist it in a couple of other locations. The Smith and Wesson Model 41 is a pretty cool little firearm if you're not familiar with it. It was designed as we'll call it a training or a target tool. It has a 105-degree grip angle, identical to a 1911, so it's very familiar to 1911 shooters, the grip angle is. It developed in the 40s post-World War II, and then I think originally came to market in 1957 or 58. You can see it's got kind of an unusual slide mechanism. The barrel here is fixed, and the slide moves independent of that. Kind of a cool operation. The takedown is very cool too. So you would lock the slide to the rear, and then I'm gonna put my hand in the way. You pull down on the trigger guard, and that actually unlocks the barrel. You can see the locking surfaces here. So the barrel is removable. They made these in a couple of different barrel lengths. This gun was made, like I said, I think 1957 they originally went into production. And then mids 1963, they switched from a 7-inch barrel, slightly longer than 7-inch, to a 5-inch version, which is what this is. It's a little over 5 inches. And so this gun serial number puts it very early into that 5-inch option. I say the serial number is right around 1963, early 64. It's a fairly good condition gun. There is some metal finish missing. It has been used, but for a firearm that is, let's see, 1963 into 2025, it's 50 plus years old and has been used. It's in pretty good shape. It does have some chips on the scales just from use, like I said, but not abused. It's in good shape. I actually have run it a few times in the sales process, having customers that want to look at it, and they take it out back to the range and shoot it a time or two. It runs exceptionally well. If you've never shot one of these, the recoil, it's 22 long rifle for one, so there's very little recoil. But because of the grip angle and how high your hand is in relation to the slide, and the slide weight compared to the barrel weight, it's a very flat, linear shooting gun. They're an absolute dream to shoot. They do have screw holes in the top. I believe that you could get a scope mount for these at one point. I have seen some of the newer ones. Smith and Wesson still makes this gun. I think retail on them is $1,600, $1,700. for a new one. But I've seen them with red dots mounted on it because the barrel stays stationary. Whatever you mount to the top of it, it doesn't move. So there's no forces, no recoil forces on it. Like I said, pretty easy to disassemble or to field strip for cleaning. Pretty cool design. You can see the serrations here in the top of the slide that aid in preventing malfunctions. Like I said, the disassembly is super quick to field strip it. Just a cool gun. This one came with a couple of magazines and a box of mini mags, which it runs exceptionally well. It's almost scary accurate. But like I said, just a cool firearm. One of my favorite features is it has a screw here behind the trigger. See if you can get a view at that. There you go. For over travel, it's got some built-in adjustment from the factory. Like I said, an early 60s gun in this good a shape, with new firearms retailing in that $1,500 to $1,700 range. This one is probably $800 or $900 firearm, and they're very collectible. There are a lot of guys who are collectors of these, especially the earlier guns, the late 50s, very early 60s guns. Very desirable. Box and papers do make a difference. They do increase the value, obviously. I've tried to minimize the hunting content on this channel. Obviously with firearms and monetization don't play well. YouTube's not very firearm friendly, but I will drop a little video clip at the end of this video. Had the opportunity to cull a cull buck on the high fence property I was hunting. Very unusual genetics, not something that the landowner wanted in his breeding program. And so I'll drop a little clip. Not the best video quality, was filmed on my phone pretty early in the morning, right at sunrise, legal shooting light. So, but I'll drop a clip of that there for you. Like I said, just busy trying to catch up, excuse me, on the work that I didn't get done while I was gone. I've had a bunch of you reach out in the last couple of weeks, the last few videos, inquiring about sending work in, firearms that need repair or modification. I am working with my website designer to add a link on my website, huntsvilleguns.com, where you can reach out to me directly and inquire about work. I know a few of you, we've emailed back and forth about guns that you want to have sent in. I have a pretty good workload for customers bringing firearms in here locally, but I would also like to help some of y'all. And there's some good video content opportunity for guns that I don't see very regularly. And so I'm working on a venue for you to reach out to kind of accommodate some of y'all with your projects. Hopefully we can create some cool content for the channel as well. Also working on some European mounts. This is a deer that my daughter shot this year. And an Axis deer that I shot in September. So just trying to finish up some Euro mounts and start on some European mounts for all the animals that I brought home from South Texas. A bobcat and javelina and stuff. So we'll have a little bit of content on that subject in the next couple of days, next couple of weeks. But thanks for hanging out. Hope you guys have a great day.